I'm Jon. If this is your first time, if you're visiting us, I'm one of the pastors here. If this isn't your first time, then you know that it's been a rough week for my wife and I. Saturday, God took home our 17 and a half week old gestation baby. His name was Gavin, and we're pretty heartbroken, pretty devastated by the events of last Saturday. So I'm very grateful to the elders and for Brad, who got up and preached on very short notice last week for me. And really for all of you who step up and who do ministry here every week. It's a blessing to know that when I'm not here, things happen because of all of you. And so I'm very grateful to you for that. It's been pretty traumatic to, I don't know, it's hard to try to focus here, but it's been traumatic to hold your little baby in your hands. It's traumatic to think about all the things that you're not going to get to do. It's traumatic to watch your kids playing, knowing that I went to the park yesterday. There's just two. There's not going to be three. Those kinds of things are traumatic. And so in both Katie and my hearts, there's this tug between trauma and trust, where we're any one moment, one gets the better of our hearts. And so in the midst of the trauma, there's this massive amount of comfort, much of it coming from all of you. Like, you've sent us texts and emails and messages, and you've brought us flowers or food or both, or like, you've done so much for us. And that's God is using that to help us and comfort us and be a blessing to us. And so I can't thank you enough for that as well. And then you add to that the things that we talk about every week and the things that I preach from this pulpit become very real in moments like last Saturday morning. And you realize that if Jesus really did rise from the dead, then I'm not wishing or hoping or and somehow crossing my fingers that I'm going to see my son again someday. Like, it is fact. I will see him again. So I will meet him. And that's not me crossing my fingers and wishing. Jesus rose from the dead. If that's true, then I have hope and I have comfort. I have the ability to look at this trial and go, you know what? This hurts deeply. But when Jesus saw hurting people in the Gospels, like we've seen here in Mark, he had compassion on them, which means that he has compassion for me right now. He's expressing that compassion through all of you, which is incredible. And then add to that, since he died for my sins and rose again, since David looked at his dead son in 2 Samuel chapter 12 and said, he will not come back to me, but I will go to him, that there is a hope and a confidence because of Jesus that is, I don't like to use the word literally, but it's literally getting us through this. It's that truth, it's that reality that is helping us and makes it possible for me to be here now. And Katie was in the first service. And because, honestly, I was praying with the elders this morning. It was, guys, pray that I want to be here, because I just want to be in bed, because this is hard. But when we're weak, he's strong, right? And that's what we are getting to experience. And we're also, the other part of this that has been, not shocking is not the right word, but maybe it is. It's learning how many of you have gone through the same thing and have the same pain and have the same hole in your family and hole in your heart because someone you love isn't there. And I hope that us walking through this, I'm not, my mom's, my mom knows, I'm Katie too, I'm not a public person. I'd like to just be by myself. And so having to do this in front of everybody I hope that it's helping. I hope that it comforts you. I hope that God uses that to speak to you, because God says that he comforts us so that we can comfort other people. And so I hope that God uses it to do that. And I just, one last thing before we read the scriptures together. I was talking with people before the service, and someone said, you never get over it. And my thought is, I never want to get over it. And I think it's because that feeling of loss is my connection to my son. It's still that feeling that loss means that I'm connected to someone. And this whole experience, for me at least, has made it so that I'm less tied to this life. And I'm more looking forward to the next than ever. There is a hope there and an excitement there that I didn't have a week and a half ago, that I have now. I want to be there. And I want to see my son, but I want to see the one who made it possible for me to see my son. I want to see Christ. And this has caused me to really worship in the midst of our pain. And so, again, I explain that I don't want this service to be about me, to be about us and our thing. I want it to be about Christ. And so I'm not going to do that perfectly. Probably already haven't. But I just want to thank you and let you know kind of like what we're going through and what's going on, and to say thank you again for your kindness to us. Can't possibly thank every one of you, although I guess I can, but really, if I don't get a chance to, on behalf of Katie and my kids and my family, thank you very much.